Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. My name is Ngega. It's a First Nations name, and I'm so honored and pleased to be here today to welcome you to the traditional lands of the Squamish, the Musqueam, and the Tsleil-Waututh people. Burnaby Mountain has always been a place of great abundance. And today, I am here to share your wonderful, wonderful occasion of the convocation of your relatives. For many, many centuries, the Coast Salish people, including those from the Stalo, were here in this valley, on this mountain, to be here to hunt for deer. May this day be the first of great joy and abundance as you complete your journey here at SFU and at the Burnaby Mountain Convocation. I'm here to say congratulations and welcome to you all, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. I would like you to please welcome the Chancellor, Carol Taylor. Thank you.
My thanks to Teresa Neal. She is a member of SFU's Aboriginal Elder Program, and she shared some words of welcome for all of us today. I'd now like to invite Mr. Stephen Price. He is the Manager of Student Affairs in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. He's also SFU alumnus in the Masters of Education program, and Stephen will lead us in the singing of O Canada. Stephen?
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. I declare the June 2013 convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduates and friends, I'm Carol Taylor, Chancellor of SFU. This is our 48th convocation, and we're delighted and honored to have in attendance today a number of very distinguished guests on the platform and in the audience. A special welcome to you all. Special guests include the former SFU Chancellor, Dr. Barbara Ray, from SFU's Board of Governors, June Francis, Dr. Dawn Hudson, past chair of the Board of Governors and also an SFU honorary degree recipient. Other honorary degree recipients today, Dr. Marguerite Ford, Dr. Elizabeth Lane, and Dr. Cornelia Oberlander. And this afternoon, a very special honorary doctorate of laws will be conferred on Barry Downs. So it's indeed an honor to serve as Chancellor of SFU, as Dr. Barbara Ray knows, but it's really never a greater honor or pleasure than on graduation day. SFU promises every single day to be Canada's most engaged university, contributing to the health and the welfare of our society. And we do that by educating great students, by doing great research, by engaging with our various communities on every level. So on graduation day, we celebrate your accomplishments within this wonderful university. I look at you and I see a lifetime of possibilities. I see potential that in the very best way could go viral as each one of you takes what you've learned here and added it to the gifts you brought at the outset, and you now take on the world. Some of you, I know, because I know some of you, you're just raring to go. You've got your plans made, jobs lined up, and perhaps jobs that you even earned at SFU as co-op students. But maybe some of you are simply uncertain about what career path to take. I know I certainly was when I finished university. Or perhaps you've been reading the news and thinking about threats to the environment, the state of the economy. You've been canvassing the job market and maybe listening to some of the skeptics who question the value of university degrees, and you're unsettled. Well, it's probably not a bad thing. It means you're paying attention. But it also sets you up to exercise a virtue that I think will be extremely important to your future success throughout your lives, and that is courage. If you look to the great definitions of courage, there are three that really resonate with me. One of the first and the best comes from Mark Twain, and he said, "Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, but it's not absence of fear." And that's a very fine distinction. A second quote comes from designer Coco Chanel, who said, "The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud." You know, it requires a certain bravery to stand up against the tide of opinion, whether it's from your peers or society in general or from government. But have courage. Your opinion matters, your voices matter, your actions matter. Stand up and be counted. Finally, Winston Churchill sort of agreed. He said, "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak." But then he added, "Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen." Now, for me, that final point is what makes a truly great leader, whether it's in business or politics or in life. Don't just tell us what you think. Sit down and listen to what we think. Then and only then will we move forward together and make this world a better place. So you will all need your courage in small moments when you disagree with your friends, but in very big doses when you disagree fundamentally with the ideas of someone who is in a position of power. But courage is like fortune. It favors the prepared mind, and you have distinguished yourselves as among the well-prepared. Whether or not you have an immediate line on a fabulous opportunity, a recent analysis by the Higher Education Strategy Associates shows that within 5 years, at least 70% of university graduates will be in positions that take advantage of the nature and the level of their education. The same analysis shows that regardless of your discipline, you can also all expect median incomes above the national average. So the next couple of years may be a little bumpy, they may be quite interesting, but have courage because you're on your way. I'm excited about the good that you will do, and I wish you all the very best that your courage will bring. And I'd now like to call upon the president of our university, Professor Andrew Petter.
Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, and most especially graduands and friends. It's my pleasure to preside at this celebration of your success, this culminating event of your education at Simon Fraser University. It's also my pleasure to welcome those who have come to help you celebrate, your parents, family members, and friends for whom this occasion is as special as it is for you. They likely are as proud as you are that you made it here today. And in the case of your parents, at least, they might be even a little more relieved. Thus, before I go on to congratulate you for your dedication and commitment, let's all take a moment to acknowledge theirs. Whether their influence took the form of encouraging, mentoring, pleading, or check writing, or some combination thereof, it's probably fair to say that many of you would not have arrived at this day without them. So think for a moment of those here who helped you through the years, your parents, your family, your mentors, your friends, along with those who wished but are unable to be here, and join me in offering them a round of applause and appreciation. And now to you. What do you take away on this momentous day? What have you earned from your efforts at SFU? Well, there will be a high-level description on your degree and some greater detail on your transcript. But in both instances, the references will be incomplete. When you consider what you gain from SFU, I hope that you will credit some of the things that don't show up on your parchment. I hope you will value not just your knowledge of a particular subject, but also your learning aptitudes, your critical thinking abilities, and your research skills, all of which will serve you throughout your lifetime. I also hope that you cherish the sense of social understanding and global awareness that comes from studying at Canada's engaged university. And I hope that you will continue to engage. Given the challenges facing our world, we need you to do so. Consider the environmental risks of climate change, the financial risks of an unsteady global economy, and the social risks of rising income inequality. If we aspire to live in a sustainable, prosperous, and equitable society, the world needs you to do a lot more than pursue your own self-interest. It needs you to look upon these and other risks as challenges to be taken on. As cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead once observed, we are continually faced with great opportunities which are brilliantly disguised as unsolvable problems. Addressing these challenges will require you to draw upon all of the knowledge, skills, and aptitudes that you have acquired at SFU, and to proceed with equal amounts of optimism and skepticism. Now, by skepticism, I don't mean you should go through life predisposed to rejecting novel or controversial ideas. On the contrary, such ideas should be welcomed and seriously considered. What I mean is that you should test and interrogate all ideas, old and new, and reach answers that are evidence-based. You should honor expertise, for example, by attending to scientists on matters of science. At the same time, you should never abandon your own values. You shouldn't leave politics to the politicians. Whether you're casting your ballot or taking a position on a matter of public importance, you should again stay engaged. Fortunately, you have some excellent role models in those who have preceded you, in former SFU graduates who are making a difference locally and globally. People like Svein Andresen, an SFU economics grad who, as Secretary General of the European-based Financial Stability Board, is bringing a steady hand to addressing threats to the global financial system. Individuals like Nadine Caron, a First Nations woman and SFU science grad, who in addition to becoming a physician and educator, has used her talents to gain international attention for the health needs of remote and Aboriginal communities. And graduates like Amrik Verk, a former RCMP officer who has devoted himself to addressing issues of youth violence and to community service, and who last month was elected to the BC legislature and just yesterday was sworn in as BC's new advanced education minister. These people are proof of another Margaret Mead insight, that all social change comes from the passion of individuals. They also provide reassurance that as you go forth to engage the world, you're not going to be alone. Today, you join a family of more than 120,000 SFU alumni spread throughout 129 countries the world over. So when you need friendship, remember, an SFU alum will never be far away. And when you need advice or support, information, further education, whatever it may be, this university will be there for you now and always. For today, congratulations. As you cross the stage in a few minutes, revel in the fact that you have earned this honor. The degrees that we are about to bestow are testament to your achievements at SFU. So be proud of yourselves, work hard, stay engaged, and you will do us, your families, and your communities proud as well. Good luck to you all.
And so the sun comes out for our next very important moment. SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor that is conferred by this university. Honorary degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contribution to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Honorary degree recipients' achievements celebrate our university's values, and they serve as an inspiration and a role model to our students, graduates, and our community. The honorary degree will now be conferred. To present the honorary degree candidate, Mr. Barry Downs, I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Rick Gruneau. Dr. Gruneau is professor in the School of Communication. Dr. Gruneau.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. Madam Chancellor, while British Columbia is known for its natural beauty, the livability of our built environment is also an important contributor to the quality of life in the province. For this reason, I'm honored today to introduce Barry Downs, one of BC's most significant 20th century architects. Barry Downs has practiced architecture for more than 5 decades. After several years working in prominent Vancouver architectural firms, he formed Downs Archambault Architects in 1969. The firm became award-winning pioneers in an emerging West Coast modernist style of residential design, and other early projects included North Vancouver Civic Centre, the Sedgwick Building at the University of Victoria, and the Lester B. Pearson College of the Pacific. Barry Downs and his colleagues later led the design of hotels and multi-residential structures at Whistler and Victoria. He was also a design partner for 2 Kwantlen universities, the Campbell River Museum and Concord Pacific's award-winning Waterworks at Beatty Mews, among other projects. The philosophy developed at Downs Archambault strongly aligned with progressive civic ideas that were becoming prominent in Vancouver during the 1970s, a strong sense of civic participation, the involvement of end users in the planning process, a focus on community, realization of the importance of harmonizing the built environment with nature, and recognition of the importance of civic heritage. Barry Downs developed a close relationship with city planners and became a member of Vancouver's design panel and early heritage preservation committees. Under his direction, the 1903 Carnegie Library was retrofitted as a downtown East Side community center, for example. Mr. Downs also played a major collaborative role in the establishment of new Vancouver communities at Champlain Heights, False Creek South, False Creek North Expo Lands, and at International Village. In 1979 and 1981, Downs Archambault completed the Classroom and Museum Block and the Diamond Alumni Center at SFU, and later in a joint venture with other Canadian architects, played distinctive roles in the development of several of Vancouver's current civic icons, including Canada Place, Pan Pacific Hotel, and Library Square. It's hard to go anywhere in this city without seeing the footprint of Barry Downs. In addition to these accomplishments, through his contributions to a series of award-winning books on topics ranging from the architecture of British Columbia churches to modernist architectural photography, Barry Downs has emerged as one of the most reflective architects of his generation. Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon Barry Downs the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Barry Downs, by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Dr. Downs will be hooded by Dr. John Driver, Vice President Academic, and by Dr. Kate Ross, Registrar.
You take your hat off and face the front.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Speaking this?
Thanks, Rick. It is with pleasure that I now call on Dr. Barry Downs for his convocation address. Dr. Downs.
Madam Chancellor, President Petter, members of the Board of Governors, and Senate, faculty members, honored guests, and especially graduates of the Reedy School of Business and their families, their dear families and friends who would be very proud at this moment. I thank you for this very special honor and recognition today. I would also like to acknowledge my family who have been so supportive for me over these years, and my good friend, Professor of Communications, Richard Greneau, for his generous introduction. It's for an architect, it's exhilarating to be here on a day like this when the sun comes through and it's so effective, I think, for all of us. It's a privilege to offer a few thoughts at this celebration, a reminder of my own good fortune growing up and graduating in a much simpler world of propeller-driven airplanes, black and white television sets, and typewriters, no computers or cell phones to be seen. Born and schooled in Vancouver, I graduated in architecture at the University of Washington. While there, the influences of the iconic American architects Frank Lloyd Wright and Richard Neutra on my education were profound. They informed my work to this day. Working with Thompson Burke and Pratt Architects in the 1950s, the busiest firm in the city, teaching with fellow architects Arthur Erickson and Bud Wood at UBC, and forming a brief business practice with Fred Hollingsworth served me well over my first 15 years. But in the late 1960s, when the countercultural movement took hold, I discovered that architectural life had less to do with the design of small modernist houses and more to do with the ongoing loss of historic buildings and neighborhoods and the need to address the human condition in our then stagnant city and suburbs. My heroes changed when a group of UBC professors and other determined advocates for change got together with successful businessman and investment fund entrepreneur Arthur Phillips to form TEAM, the Electors Action Movement. In 1968, indeed, a new civic political party was born. By 1974, they gained control of the City of Vancouver's council and championed a remarkable visionary process of land use renewal, social equality, heritage building preservation, planning of small-scale housing enclaves, people-friendly neighborhoods, and livable green communities began in earnest. In these endeavors, participatory planning governed, as city-supported developments were assessed by local area citizen groups in concert with architects, planners, economists, and engineers. Policy then was decided by consensus. Subsequent mayors of the city, Jack Vorich, Mike Harcourt, and Gordon Campbell, upheld many of the significant objectives achieved in this time period. A decade later, more challenging conditions were faced. New urban design criteria for highly densified neighborhoods were determined for the north side of Falls Creek, the 205 acres of expo lands, the downtown core, and Coal Harbor developments. Market-driven, fewer projects addressed non-market family housing on site, and many of the residential tower units were rented out by absentee owners. Indeed, inflated land and building costs encouraged housing to be built as a commodity instead of as a privilege. However, the provision of primary schools, lively streets, sufficient garden settings, linear parks did animate most urban neighborhoods as demographics and tenures evolved. Disappointingly, downtown East Side remained a work in progress with unknown results ahead. Today, as graduates of the Beatty School of Business from this splendid university, you will determine the urban business and domestic environments of the future. New challenges await your energetic and creative input and unique information managing skills. You will need to encourage your governments, builders, and bureaucrats to mandate the environmental quality of workplace and home. It should be a central objective of all new metro development initiatives. You indeed are the new environmentalists. Innovative new housing solutions must be generated in order to provide a more affordable product. This would include building renewal, not demolition, sensitive renovation within the suburbs, creating duplex units and laneway houses, as well as allowing secondary suites. In these projects, entrepreneurship should embrace social sustainability and recognize that with resolve, a mix of income, housing types, and age groups can be accommodated in balanced neighborhoods. Research preservationists today believe that high-density development in single-family communities should be provided in small doses. Small footprint cluster housing, fee simple row houses as found in Boston, London, San Francisco, and townhouse surrounded mid-rise tower complexes are viable housing alternatives. High-rise towers need not be everywhere. The tower-only sustainability argument can challenge our quality of life standards. Your business acumen will allow you to question all new development trends and determine the impact of gentrification and dislocation. Of course, sustainable accountability will be central to your decision-making and those of the organizations you work with. You can influence them. Increasingly, green policies are seen as good business, yet the degree of implementation will be measured against cost factors. Ongoing tensions and change will require well-reasoned responses. These possibilities for high-quality, eco-friendly environments and affordable housing are but a few which can be achieved today. Indeed, humane living environments, compelling public spaces, and stimulating economies are at this time more necessary than ever. As realized in the past, we know your vision and learned contribution will make a difference and forever enrich the lives of others. Good luck, graduates, and success in all that you do in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Downs. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of the ceremony, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are very important to us, and we are pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch our graduates on their new role as alumni of Simon Fraser University. Mr. Travis Wong holds a BBA from SFU and is currently a member of the SFU Alumni Association Board of Directors. I invite Mr. Wong to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduands.
Thank you, President Petter. It is my privilege and pleasure here today to congratulate you on your graduation and to welcome you as the newest members of our SFU community, over 120,000 members strong. I encourage you to remember and rely on the connections you've made here at SFU. It is your strongest and most natural network. And as a fellow business student, I do understand the importance, and all of you should understand the importance of a strong and broad network that will give you benefits that you may not even know exist yet. Also keep in mind that the Alumni Association is here to serve your needs and interests as well. I invite you to learn more about the alumni privileges that your alumni status has given you that's in your brochure in your folder today. As you cross the stage today, I will be presenting you with a pin to represent your alumni status from this prestigious university. Wherever life takes you in the future, I hope that you'll keep the SFU spirit alive and stay connected with this university. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Mr. Jason Brach, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. During his time at SFU, Mr. Brach had podium finishes in business case competitions on local, national, and international stages, worked as a teaching assistant at the Beatty School of Business, was an executive in 2 different student initiatives, and completed a co-op term this past summer at KPMG. He has been on the Dean's Honor Roll for the last 4 years. Mr. Brach will start his Master of Professional Accounting program at the University of Saskatchewan next year. Today, he will be graduating with his bachelor's degree in Business Administration with a concentration in accounting. I'm now pleased to call upon Jason Brach. Jason?
Hi. Thank you, Mr. President, Chancellor, honorary guests, and graduates. I guess I'll start by thanking my parents for being my inspiration every day, and I'd like to dedicate this speech in memory of my grandmother. So I was asked to write and to deliver a speech that represented our collective experience here at SFU, and I thought, what better way to do that than to set this up like a typical BD class? So I guess I'll start with some formalities and a bit of review. About halfway through is when you'll actually start listening to what I'm going to say. And at the very end will come the key material and the key takeaways of my speech. So we wouldn't be our present selves today if it wasn't for our pasts and the people who have made us who we are. So on behalf of all the graduates, I'll start by thanking all the parents, family, and loved ones in attendance here today and watching on the live stream for all the support they've given us over this incredible journey. You guys can clap now. I'll also take a moment for those who are unable to make it here today. I know a lot of us have lost someone important in our lives that we know would have been here and would have been smiling ear to ear with an overwhelming sense of pride and joy. So for them, I'd like to say, we love you so much and we miss you dearly, and we really wish you could have been here with us today to celebrate. As for the present, when I was trying to write this speech, I was trying to wrap my head around how I could engage an audience that expresses most of their thoughts and ideas in 140 characters or less. I sat there with my clipboard and I thought to myself, hashtag, oh my God. Hashtag, what am I going to say? Hashtag, I just hope they clap for me anyway. The more I thought about the speech and my time here, it really came down to the memorable experiences that I had and the people that made those experiences so special. It's not something that you'll find written on our degrees or highlighted on our resumes. It's something that we felt, and it's something that we all experienced together. For some, it may be the first friend that they met at Frosh. For others, it may be the significant other that they met during their co-op. It might have been the epiphanies that you had while you were on exchange. And for some of us, it was the one time that we won Roll Up the Rim in West Mall. There's a countless number of these moments, and they're extremely hard to describe how you feel. But when you're in them and when you've experienced them, I think you know exactly what I mean. And today, I feel like today is one of those days that we'll remember forever. Our generation is one that we like to share our special moments with our friends and family over social media, so we can live in these days long after they're over. And today is one of those days. Actually, while I'm here, I should probably just take a picture if you don't mind. If you guys can all smile. Actually, I want to be in it too. Hold on one sec. Awesome. Okay, you guys are the best. But like I was saying, today is one of those days. It's the day that we had circled in our agendas. It's the day our families took off work. It's the day we did our hair super nicely, even though we knew we were going to wear a cap most of the afternoon. It's the day we finally get to walk the stage. And really, it's the day that it's all worth it. Years from now, we'll reminisce about that moment as the good old days. And with that said, today is also the day that our pasts are over, and we look forward to our future as alumni, with a lot of important moments still to come in our lives. Securing our dream jobs, getting married, having kids, and so on. And I wish I could predict the future, but sadly I can't. I know it sucks. But we're not all gonna, ride off into the sunset and live happily ever after. The truth is not every day is sunny and picture perfect. I mean, we live in Vancouver, it's gonna rain once in a while, am I right? But what it comes down to is the people and the experiences that we had that help us in those tough times. And I'm confident that our experiences here at the BD School of Business and the people in the network that we've met here will help us handle whatever the real world will have for us, rain or shine. We're part of a graduating class that earned well over $500,000 in scholarships, for a faculty that saw over 600 co-op placements this last year, multiple podium finishes in business case competitions, and the reigning JDC West Academic School of the Year. I can't tell you how honored I am to represent these graduates. Having known them for so many years now, I know they have what it takes to not only survive in the real world, but to excel, to not only earn their paycheck, but to one day be the one signing them too. So to the BD grads of 2013, I'll leave you with this. Cherish your pasts, experience your present, and be excited about your futures. Congratulations, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason. With that camera, you're your own paparazzi. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and request that you confer upon each one the degree for which she or he is now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Will the graduates please be seated?
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor, but first a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to the conferral of doctoral degrees. And obviously, we can't forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm, even if we wanted to. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony, and would graduates please return to your seats following the receipt of your degrees. The degrees in the Beatty School of Business will now be conferred. Madam Chancellor, the Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Peter Liliadol, will announce the names of the students earning graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of recognizing the recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence in the Beatty School of Business. Dr. Yan Liao, we congratulate Dr. Liao on her outstanding achievement. Unfortunately, Dr. Liao is unable to be present today. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduate of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Beatty School of Business. The graduate will be hooded by Dr. Daniel Shapiro, Dean of the Beatty School of Business.
Min Li Lian. Dr. Lian was supervised by Dr. Peter Klein. Madam Chancellor,
I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Beatty School of Business. Farzian Aminuddin, Stephen Au, Dennis Bolter, David Boyce, Ashley Burgess, Nicholas Canton, Alana Cervenko, Dipayan Chakrabarti, Arthur Chen, Solomon Chi, William D'Souza,
Maria Del Gurcio, Yuri Duda, Adam Durham. Domenico Finnemore. James Finley. Marisha French. Christopher Garand. Stuart Gibson.
Javier Glatt. Robert Duncan Cameron Graham. Pragya Grewal. Mohammed Habal. John Paul Harrison. Julian Harrison. Powell Hara. Irvin Hildebrand. Manjeet Jeswal. I want this. No problem. Enjoy the moment. Stephanie Jala. Michael Lamb. Wendy Lee. Lydia Lau. Alice Longhurst.
Thomas Malcolm. Miranda Mandarino.
Kartik Magnani. Arjun Maruthi. Mark Mathieson. Lindsay McIver. Simerjeet Mahanger. Lucas Mitchell.
Srijit Narayanan. Zain Nayani.
Johnson Ng. Anming Nguyen. Peter Nielsen. Melissa Noel. Jennifer Pang.
Wow. Brian Peterson.
Iriarto Pronoto. Christopher Russell. Damian Sirwar. Pavel Sirkirish. Sarabjot Sidhu. Reem Slim. Vandad Sotudenia. Matt St. John. Colin Stansfield. Anita Stepan.
Gene Sun. Michael Tran.
Sherry Willie. Gary Wong. James Wong. Bin Zhu. James Yang. Brian Young. Human Zand Habibib. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence in the Beatty School of Business. I ask Mr. Mehdi Sawedi to join me. Mr. Saedi is receiving his Master of Science in Finance for his thesis, Modeling the Variance of Variance Through a Constant Elasticity of Variance Garch Model. What happens when Simon Fraser University hands over $11 million of its endowment funds to a team of graduate students to manage? When the team manager is Mehdi Sawedi, it means that the funds outperform the benchmark, both in terms of raw returns and risk-adjusted measures, and the university received not only higher returns on their investment, but also improved risk management procedures that are currently being adopted by the university's treasurer for SFU's entire endowment portfolio. Making money for the university was only one of the accomplishments. Mehdi is graduating at the top of his Master of Science Finance cohort group, and the graduate program reports that he ranks among the top 1% of graduates from SFU's finance program over the past decade, achieving an impressive 4.2 cumulative grade point average for all his graduate courses. On behalf of SFU, we congratulate Mehdi Saedi on his outstanding achievement, which are being recognized with the award of Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal as one of SFU's most outstanding graduate students from the Beatty School of Business. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the remaining graduates of master's degrees in the Beatty School of Business. Jordan Dobbs. Jing Hu. Tammy Hu. Yuji Jie. Wen Zhao. Gulame Lahey. Jing Ren. Fei Rong. Stephen Siverot. Franklin Verla Nonggang. Jun Wang. Zhang Zhu Wang. Ying Xiao Wang. Jared Wolk. Shen Yu Wu. Lei Zhang. Madam Chancellor, I am pleased to present the students who have completed the requirements for graduate diplomas in the Beatty School of Business. Brittany Barnes. Joseph Falsaf. Connor Gillen. William Jackson. Dora Kessenheimer. Katerina Ringwood. Nadir Samji. Timothy Tao.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Beatty School of Business, Dr. Daniel Shapiro, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, before presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration in the Beatty School of Business, I have the honor of presenting the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. I ask Mr. Yevta Lukic to come forward. Yeah, that's later. You can't get this right. I first met Yevta nearly 5 years ago when he introduced himself to me at an honors student gathering. It's not often that an undergraduate student introduces himself to the dean of a business school. Yevta did so with such poise and such confidence, such maturity and intelligence, that I tagged him as a student to watch, and I was right. Yevta graduates today with a cumulative grade point average of 4.17, which puts him at the top, makes him the top student in a faculty of 3,500 students. For those of you who are not, yeah, go ahead. For those of you who are not fully aware of what a grade point average is, let me just say that a 4.0 is an A. Yevta graduated with an average of 4.17, which means he got more than an A in most of his courses. It also means that he was undoubtedly the top student in almost every course he took in this university, in business or not in business. So you know you are talking about a very special student. But his grade point average is only one part of Yevta. He accomplished this while at the same time following a disciplined regime of work, volunteerism, and travel. In the course of his studies, Yevta has worked, studied, and/or volunteered in Asia, Latin America, and Europe. He studied at Hong Kong University and ESCP Paris. He spent months in Peru, working as a volunteer with a scholarship program. And most recently, he was the executive director of a local nonprofit formed at SFU called Education Generation, which uses crowdfunding techniques to raise scholarship money for innovative education programs in the developing world. He has participated in a variety of case competitions and has been an active coach for other students. In short, Yevta Lukic is recognized throughout the Beatty School by both faculty and students as a leader of tomorrow. He is one of those rare students who combines remarkable intellectual and analytical capabilities with a strong sense of social responsibility and considerable entrepreneurial flair. Yevta has already accomplished a great deal during his time at SFU, and I have no doubt that he will go on to accomplish much more throughout his career. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal, Yevta Lukic. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration in the Beatty School of Business. AJ Ahmed, Bashir Saud El Zaidi, Taher El Saya, George Alvarez, Ahmed Amlani, Emma Andolfato, Shabnan Antikchi, Tanya Antonich, Madison Arnold Smith, Shahab Asghari, Parham Aziz Baiji, Carmen Bax. That's okay, we need a pause. Sandeep Baines, Daniel Balsewicz, Ajit Bath, Daniel Bauhaus, Evan Bay, Parveen Baraj, Harpreet Singh, Britta Biesig, Mercedes Book, Golia Bordian, Andrew Bowler, Jason Brach, whose words we heard, Stephanie Cabrita, Deborah Chow, Larissa Tsao, Jan Castro, Yinyi Chen, Pierre Lee Che, Danny Chambers, Bernadette Chan, Kristen Chan, Jason Chan, Lisa Chan, Leon Chan, Karu Chan, Ann Chang, Eric Chang, Kate Chang, Liana Chang, Shui Chang, Reimu Cheng Hon Jing, Ramdi Chow, Ravneet Chima, Chengji Chen, Hao Min Chen, Jason Chen, Jieying Chen, Jingmei Chen, Calvin Chen, Kevin Chen, Lin Chen, Sharon Chen, Xijing Chen, Wei-Ta Chen, Xingyu Chen, Yifan Chen, Yu Chen, Yudan Chen, Yuanchang Chen, Zhou Chen, Zhuo Chen, Carmen Cheng, Cindy Cheng, Helen Cheng, Calvin Chung, Amy Chi, Stan Chen, Alan Chim, Alex Chu, Kevin Chu, Teresa Chu, Richard Cho, Paul Choi, Victor Choi, Elora Chow, Zhao Chu, Ellard Chua, Lillian Chung, Alexandra Chobanu, Marina Kojemetova, Cariza Concepcion, G. Kong. Marco Korich. Diane Coronel. Priscilla Correa. Alexis Dalzell. Sarah Kim Dow. Teresa DeFoyard Brown. Julian DeShooter. Lila Ding. Graham Dergusoff. Zara Danani. Ranjot Danju. Priyanka Dillon. Ricky Dillon. Kirandeep Dinsa. Amin Diliwar. Shui Ying Ding. Yangqing Ding. Jagmeet Diogan. Kelly Dong. Nicole Dong. Camille Du. Qisheng Du. Samuel Dundee. Selma Durich. Mani Ibrahimi. Farouk Ismaili. Julia Faletsky. Yifan. Melissa Felix. Sule Feng Wu. Mark Fernandez. Anne Fu. Herbert Fung. Bonnie Fung. Annie Gan. Wei Wei Gao. Yuan Gao. Lali Garcha. Sunny Garcha. Sean Galera. Luke Genereux. Catherine Genosa. Marcel Glazer. Maria Golikova. Cam Gosal. Brianna Green. Inderpal Grewal. Henry Gui. Jia Guo. Crystal Guo. Ming Guo. Rochelle Han. Yuting Hao. Rika Hara. Andrew Harding. Maud Nazmi Harris. You want to keep it? Meifeng He. Yunyan He. Carlos Hernandez. Listiani Himawan. Irvin Ho. Jonathan Ho. Winnie Ho. David Holacek. Matt Houston. Ai Xiao. Alan Shu. Bruce Hu. Vivian Hu. Doris Hu. Iris Hua, Andrew Huang, Min Huang, Shuahan Huang, Justin Hubert, Jody Hui, Alex Hung, Girisha Hanras, Vanessa Joyce Ignacio, Carlo Inigo, Leslie Ip. He wrote, sounds like hip without the H. Xian Young Jian. Celeste Jala. Ran Ji. Kun Jiang. Kiki Jiang. Sherry Jiang, Jun Jin, Veronique Jones, Manalis Ju, Jessica Jung, Tyler Jung, Winnie Jung, Stephanie Gui, Jui, Yoko Kai, Mary Caldas, Carol Kam, Inar Kamaledinov, Michael Kang, Adam Karim, Weijong Ki, Amna Khan, Ehsan Khorasani, Diana Kim, Jay Kim, KJ Kim, Yana Kim, Alicia Kingdon, Stephanie Klein, Se Pui Ko, Sankalp Kochar, Kaylee, Nicole Kaylee, Michelle Kong, Sanjeet Kuner, Clement Kaur, Kyle Kristolovich, Xinwang Quang, Ashwin Ganesh Kumar, Chichin Kuo, Kyle Kuramoto, Quan Yi Kwok, Ming Chiu Kwok, Christopher James Kyle Jr., Nadim Ladani, Canis Lai, Chak Lai, Xiao Ching Lai, Jocelyn Treva Lai, Johnny Lai, Arthur Lamb, Brian Lamb, Candace Lamb, Jenny Lamb, Jolie Lamb, Louis Hinhang Lamb, Paul Lamb, Charmaine Lau, Michelle Laurel, Tom Lee, Amanda Lee. Benjamin Lee. Justin Lee. Justin Lee. Nicholas Lee. Rachel Lee. Wayne Lee. Jasmine Leong. Nikki Lessing. Brian Leong. Gary Leong. Marcus Leong. Sandy Leong. Ang Lee. Chen Juan Lee. Fiona Lee. Elvin Lee. Layla Lee. Mingjiao Lee. Mingjie Lee. Mingyi Lee. Pingfei Lee. Serena Lee. Cece Lee. Eileen Lee. Erica Lee. Yuchun Lee. Yushin Lee. Jiangyan Lian. Junjiang Liang. Xiaoman Liang. Melissa Liu. Eric Bontag Lim. Sime Lim. Michael Joseph Limon. Lulu Lin. Susan Lin. Jennifer Lin. Cody Lindsay. Ashley Chang Liu. Chuan Wen Liu. Jialin Liu. Meng Yao Liu. Michelle Liu. Daisy Liu. Kevin Liu. Lei Liu. Ying Liu. Ying Yuan Liu. Yu Liu. Amy Low. Edwin Low. Joshua Low. Wilson Low. Elliot Lobo. Wilfred Locke. Frank Long. That's okay. Bally Liu. Kyle Lowe. Shubin Liu. Yanbing Liu. Christine Locke. Tian Liu. Luo. Brian Luong. Melissa Mott. Kyle Maggio. Nicole Mock. Ronald Mann. Mankiran Mangat. Jamie Marmoleo. Samantha Ma. Verity McGibbon. Amita McKillop. Andrew McKinley. Yuros Miloyevich, Duong Mim, Jeffrey Minarno, Sumaya Mispa, Donald Mock, Matthew Morrison, Mark Mueller, Alvin Nui, Thomas Monroe, Michael Morazzo, Siamak Namazi, Harman Nanda, Chi Kwong Ing, Lorraine Ka Man Ing, Stephen Ing, Viola Ing, Joyce New, Mira Nye, Christine Nguyen, Kevin Nguyen, Lee Nguyen, Cameron Nickel, Irina Nogina, Fei Pan, Shenfang Pan, Chiputra Pare, Christopher Paredes, Sanghoon Park, Tatiana Pekovic, Jenny Pena, Carrie Phillips, Ryan Phillips, Jeffrey Fung, James Polzer, Jeremy Poon, Sonia Proferovich, Yves Prosperine Laflamme, Shui-Wen Chu, Janice Chuan, Vijay Raju, Christopher Roseweir, Kelly Ross, Wendy Ruan, Diane Ryu, Devjit Saini, Ahmed Salim, Clarinda Sam, Mandeep Sandhu, Michelle Santos, Artie Sardashti, Moritz Shore, Jezya Shah, Prit Sikon, Lauren Sato, Mohammed Shahid, Kuram Shahzad, Shwo Shan, Nitesh Sharma, Farah Sheen, Bingqing Shen, Fangmin Shen, Pinyu Shen, Whitney Shing, Jihad Sholi, Carolyn Shum, Ravneet Sidhu, Preksha Simoniha, Amy Smith, Sarah Solodkin, Christopher Sun, Hyunji Song, Alice Song, Karen Su, Matthew Street, Straight. Russell Stretch. Dan Su. Namli Sun. Jingchen Sun. Edgar Sung. Angelica Saipo Kohut. Tsai Ting Tai. Chen Tan. Allison Tang. Jessica Tang. TJ Tang. Lingfei Tang. Xiaozhou Tang. Zhen Tang. Ye Tao. Ri Hung Tio. Gia T. Hi. Sarnvir Tierra. Qihong Tian. Shuo Shui Tian. Brian To. Daniel To. Jeffrey To. Yi Tong. Katie Tung. Ryan Torrio. Ben Towner. Sasha Trivunik. Nianjian Tsai. Carmen Tsang. Arthur C. Matthew C. Wendy Sui. Jennifer Tu. Joseph Tung. Kevin Tung. Elise Varley. Jorge Vasquez. Hi. Margot Villalpando. Binhua Wang. Brian Wang. Choyan Wang. Is that Kong? Kong Wang. Jai Wang. Jiang Wang. Jonathan Wang. Pei Wang. Tingyan Wang. Wei Ting Wang. Wei Chi Wang. Wenhan Wang. Shi Wang. Xiao Wei Wang. Xiaoming Wang. Shui Wang. Yaning Wang. Yu Wang. Yu Wang. Yuming Wang. Jiming Wang. Mitchell Whedon. Wadim. Mitchell Wadim. Courtney Weed. Daniel Wijaya. Caitlin Wilby. Alex Wong. David Wong. Haley Wong. Joyce Wong. Miranda Wong. Vanessa Wong, Henry Wu, Jessica Wu, Li Wu, Li Hong Wu, Lian Ying Wu, Smandy Wu, Wei Wu, Di Xia, Bei Xiang, Ming Xiao, Mimi Xie, Xin Xie, Juan Shu, Nuo Shu, Xinran Shu, Yonggan Shu, Yuan Shu, Jiarong Yan, Kai Yan, Sen Yan, Xiaofan Yang, Hedda Yao Yao, Willie Yao, Karina Yao, Ji Yu, Chi Ching Yung, Yan Tong Yung, Casey Yorko, Chao Yu, Monita Yu, Pamela Yu, Liping Yuan, Shi Yuan, just almost didn't make it, Xin Yuan, Derek Yu, Yun Yu, Arthur Yuen, Deanna Yuck, Dexter Yun, Chiwei Young, Kai Zheng, Stacy Zheng, Claire Zheng, Xiaowei Zheng, Jingya Zheng, Man Zheng, Qin Lan Zheng, Ran Zheng, yeah, like Ran Zheng, Tahara Zheng, Rui Hao Zheng, Tian Yu Zheng, Wei Zheng, Xi Zheng, Xiao Yu Zheng, hello, Xiaoming Zheng, Ying Zheng, Yue Zheng, Yun Song Zheng, Zhe Zheng, Zhisheng Zheng, Zihi Zheng, Landy Zhao. That's what it, perfect. Xiqian Zhao, Lili Zhen, Kevin Zheng, Kevin Zheng, Naomi Zheng, Linian Cho, Min Zhou, Wei Xing Zhou, Xiangwen Zhou, Yanyin Zhou, Yingxi Zhou, Zheng Zhou, Yajin Zhu, Royu Zhu,
Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends and family to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of June 2013. Please be seated.
Congratulations to each one of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Unfortunately, some of our graduates recommended by the Senate for degrees today were unable to be present, and therefore their names were not read out. However, I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program. I have several thank yous to express. First of all, of course, to all of you for helping make this such a special day. To our many volunteer staff and faculty members coordinated by the Student Services and Ceremonies and Events offices who always work together so hard and so long to make this a wonderful convocation ceremony, thank you. And of course, to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their very special contribution to Convocation. They will be performing outside after the ceremony just behind me, and that's called Freedom Square, and you're invited to come and listen. But this does bring to a close the formal part of this afternoon's convocation. You are all also invited to a reception in the James Douglas Room, again just behind the platform. So thank you once again for joining us and helping make this a special SFU convocation. I'd ask you now to please rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed. Thank you.